Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Hey, listen, today's episode is brought to you by Hulu Plus. Hulu Plus gives you total control to watch anything, anytime, anywhere. Watch classic shows or all your current favorites. Act now and get a cool special deal just for TMOS listeners. An absolutely free extended trial of Hulu Plus. Just go to huluplus.com/TMOS. Remember, that's huluplus.com/TMOS. And now, the show.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
I know you so well. I can tell by the sound of your voice that you're really in love with me, and you are, forget it. I'm not going to sing that.
How are your eyes?
Huh?
How are your eyes?
My eyes?
Yeah, my eyes.
My eyes are good.
Because when we went to the show open, you started just glaring at the copy as if it was drifting in and out of focus.
Because
Yes.
I read ahead on the birthdays, and I
Right.
actually was reading this first name. Well, why should I even discuss it without starting the birthday?
of course.
Because it is Thursday. We all know what that means. Now tighter and brighter for your listening pleasure.
That's a lie.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Let us begin. This is the one that's just jumped off the page at me.
Yes.
Belated birthday greetings for Ezekiel Lomebao.
I came away with it.
Lomebao.
I came away with it with Ezekiel. Ezekiel.
Like the Bible.
Wait, do you guys both know that? See, I'm not a Bible thumper.
Oh,
so I don't-
please. Every night before I go to bed.
Ezekiel Lomebo.
I think it's Lamebeo.
His name is Amoeba, brain-eating Amoeba Lumbago.
You know what? I would be okay with you skipping it because Papa sent me a follow-up message this morning that says, don't forget his birthday after I promised to do it last week.
Now,
so,
don't be so cruel. Because
Well, you know what? That's
obviously,
a little pushy.
Obviously, it's very, very...
And the man's got to go through life with the name Ezekiel.
Well, that's the kid, not the son. That's the
Ezekiel, because
dad.
Ezekiel is 2, so it's not going to matter to Ezekiel.
You know what? Call him Zeke.
Oh, Zeke. That's his nickname. It
Zeke.
should be, yeah.
Zeke
I like that.
Lomebao. Lomebao.
No, Lamebeo.
Lamebio.
Yeah.
Zeke.
Lamebio.
Yeah.
strong name.
Ezekiel Lamebio.
Yeah, it's an old Prussian word that means pushy father.
Now stop. Behave.
Hello.
These are the birthdays.
About his son.
Just remember this, pal. This is what I do. Okay?
Ezekiel is now 2, and he would just love a Spiewak fruitcake. He wants more from you, Rob.
I know.
If that is not possible,
It is
please
not.
have Rob remind him of what month comes between March and May.
Let me see. January.
You gave it your all there, even after giving the guy a hard time.
Well, he's a dick.
Best man. Well, you know, thank God. If that was a 13-year-old birthday,
that
you
would
wouldn't
hurt
want to
his
say
feelings.
that.
That's
Yeah.
true. No, well, I'm
That
not
would
talking
be
about it. I
difficult.
love Ezekiel.
Ezekiel's
But
a
the
good
pushy
kid.
dad, come on.
Best name in the mailbag this week, Byron Fick.
Like that
He's
name.
a Kansan, and his birthday is Saturday. Also, Dilcia.
That's right.
Dilcia McDougal has a birthday coming up. She and the whole family, husband, son, and mother-in-law, met Oscar and Shannon in the parking lot of his Vegas meet and greet.
Oh, what a great couple.
Do you remember them?
This couple showed up. They were outside with their entire family. Couldn't have been nicer. They had Vistaprint iPhone cases with the show logo on it.
Yay!
Couldn't have been nicer.
That's wonderful. Well, they're wonderful people, and they would like a shout-out from Oscar in Spanish, please.
Oh, wow. Feliz cumpleaños y un placer.
What is the un placer?
It was a pleasure meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Feliz cumpleaños, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Right.
And un placer.
Un placer.
Un placer. Hello, Eric Ford. Today you are 38. Let us observe this momentous occasion with a greeting from a very sick Timmy O'Bibene.
Yeah, what
Did
he
you read
noted.
ahead in the script?
What happened is he noted that one time you've done a sick Timmy, and it tends to sound like Henry Kissinger.
We are very happy to see you. That's right, Captain. I am happy to say happy birthday to Eric Ford. I have President Nixon. I would like to go to the Situation Room with you. Am I Henry Kissinger or am I Timmy O'Bibene?
Anyway, happy birthday, Eric Ford. We appreciate that. When Alex Walker first heard about Frankie versus the Bald Eagle, he laughed so hard he nearly wet his pants.
There you are.
Well, now he's 16 and certainly has a better bladder control if we can revisit that topic. Well, let's get the dog in here.
Yeah, come on in, Frankie.
Frankie, come on in. Frankie, come on in here. Come on. Frankie.
Arriba, arriba.
Hi, Francis.
there you are.
Arriba. Oh, you don't bring no bald eagle in here, did you? Oh, look at that. It's floating up above me. It's going to dive. It's going to dive and attack me. It's going to attack me. No. Arriba. He bit my leg. He bit my leg. Oh, no. Oh, that is a nasty bald eagle. Hi, boys.
Hey, you know what,
Hey.
Frankie? I was watching the Nat Geo channel, and they had a documentary on bald eagles. And you know what they found in his nest?
What'd they find?
A collar.
Oh, no. That means he eats dogs. He eats small dogs. No.
And he loves-
Ow.
He loves Mexican.
You know what I wanted to say?
What's that?
Every time I come into this studio, I have this incredible urge to relieve my bowels.
You know what? Pretty good today, though.
Nothing over there, huh?
No.
Wait till tomorrow. Arriba, Ice.
You rat bastard.
He's a jerk.
Oh, what a jerk that dog is. That's terrible. Anyway.
See what that is, Oscar? That's the segue right there.
Yeah, wasn't that a great
Transition.
segue?
Yeah.
It's the little things that you lose.
See, you listen to a lesser podcast, you don't get that.
Mazel tov to Will Knapp, who welcomed his son Flynn to the world on Friday the 13th. Will has been listening to us since 1985 and says we provide the most entertaining 80 minutes of his day. Since our show is only 79 minutes long, I assume he's included the... Since our show is only 79 minutes long, I assume he's including the time for the time.
Oh, it's okay.
Hold on.
Do you want me to try?
Okay.
No, Jesus
no,
Christ.
That's the last thing we need.
Wow.
I can't even read.
Since our show is only 79 minutes long, I assume he's including the time for the file to buffer. That's what it is.
See?
The file to buffer.
File to buffer.
That's what I was having trouble with.
Okay. I'd have trouble with all of it.
And now, sweet lesbian love for you.
See, now he's back into it. His
back
lesbian
in.
love. Yeah.
Liz, file to buffer didn't do it for me. Liz Sheehan says happy first anniversary to her wife, Candy. They are so pleased that they will probably celebrate by dining at IHOP and hope that their gluten-free stack is served by Tracy Morgan. Well, hello, Liz Sheehan. Happy first anniversary to you and your wife, Candy. Are you going to have some gluten-free pancakes with your waffles and syrup? I love lesbian love. Happy birthday to you. Or happy anniversary.
First anniversary.
Sorry about that. This weekend is the birthday of Monica Chagnon. Or is it Chagnon?
Well, you know what? I would go with the French pronunciation Chagnon, but he pronounced it Chagnon.
Hello, I would like to say happy birthday to Monica Chagnon. Bonjour, Monica.
Hello.
Your husband Chris needs an idea for what the two of you can do together for your birthday. Since he has already secured tickets to Americon 2013. Yay! Incidentally, we're going to talk about that later. I love the fact that people give gifts
The gift,
for
yeah.
Americon. That is so exciting for me. And you can, too, at MichaelMarashow.com. Can Matt Bloom offer up any activity ideas for both Chris and Monica? What do you think? What do you think, Pony Boy?
I would go street racing and then get a pack of cigarettes and have lots of sex.
Hit that music again. It's Pony Boy.
It is Pony Boy.
Good answer.
It's party time! Get up!
Perfectly done.
I enjoyed that. One of our favorite sexagenarians. P1s.
Sexagenarian P1.
One of our favorite sexagenarian P1s hits the big 6'2" this week. Happy birthday to Spokane's own Dirk Vastrick. He is looking forward to seeing Mike, Oscar, Rob, and Mickey again at the State Theater. He saw us in Reno, too. And he's eager to meet Matt Bloom. This is the second one for Pony Boy.
I love it.
Boogity, 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 shoop. Shoop. I would like to apologize for the birthdays this week. Dirk would like a birthday bamf, and also to say that he is not a Rob mobster. Mike is his favorite. Thank you very much. Wow, the sun is shining on Mike O'Mara today.
Dirk, here's your BAMF.
Happy birthday, Dirk. And finally, this one involves Oscar, so wake up, senor.
I'm here. See? Again?
Right, please.
Again?
Wanda Combs Farmer has a birthday this weekend, and her wish is to hear Row, row, row your boat, sung in the round with the three Michael McDonalds, which I guess means that Oscar has to do his Michael McDonald.
Can you debut your Michael McDonald impression?
I'll have to
That
follow
means
your guys' lead.
He starts it?
He could. Do you know how to sing in a round?
Actually,
No,
I think
no,
it would
I
be
don't.
easier. It goes, Rob and I will do it.
Row, row, row your boat.
Row, row, row your boat. No, you know,
I know.
You blew it.
I did. Let
So
me try
start
one
it
more time.
again.
Row, row, row your boat gently
Row,
down
row,
the
row
stream.
your boat
Merrily,
gently down the
merrily,
stream.
merrily, merrily, life is but
Okay.
a
I've
dream.
done this. Never.
But now we do it with Michael McDonald.
All right.
So, Rob, do you
Shall
want
I
to start?
start? Yeah.
Sure.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Life is but a dream.
Thank you very much.
That was a really great idea.
That's very, very exciting.
That's horrible.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the letter of the week. Hi, Mike, Rob, and Oscar. I wanted to start off by saying I'm a big fan of TMOS, a somewhat recent listener compared to others. I discovered the podcast about 2.5 years ago from listening to the Big O and Duke show, which I'm still a big fan of as well.
There you are.
I recently took a road trip from Dallas to Chicago with my wife and 2 dogs so we could visit family. It is about a 15-hour drive each way, but I tried to think on the bright side. I was about a month behind on the podcast, and I knew this was going to be a great way to catch up. Kind of speaks to that Kevin Spacey speech that you showed me the other day about people binging, and that's perfectly okay with us. We love it. I planned on only listening to the show when it was my turn to drive, since my wife has never been interested in listening to my podcasts. I've tried, not his that he does, but his that he listens to.
He'll probably start doing one the next 2 weeks, though. Everyone does.
I've tried getting her into them before, but she was a C and never gave them a chance.
Well said.
She associated talk radio with the political talk radio that her parents used to listen to. When it came my turn to drive, she planned on sleeping. We drove through the night, so I started up the podcast. As she was trying to sleep, she kept laughing from the show and ended up staying awake for an extra couple of hours because she was so into it.
It's very nice.
While we were back home, her mother passed away unexpectedly. I'm sorry to hear that. The following days were tough, and it was hard for her to leave her dad when we finally headed back home to Dallas. I can relate to that. When we got to the car, she asked if we could listen to your show during the entire drive back. I love these boys. This just makes me feel great. I happily agreed to that, so we listened to the show for 15 hours straight during the long drive back home, and that was the first time she really laughed since her mother's passing. I want to thank you for bringing a smile to her face during the tough times she was going through. The show really helped keep both of our minds off what happened and brought some joy and laughter to the car ride home. Not to mention it made the 15 hours seem to go by much faster. Thanks for all that you guys do, and keep the good work up. That comes from Keel. P.S. One of our dogs is a pug. Every time during the road trip that he heard Charlie's voice, he'd wake up and start barking and howling. He's not a fan of Charlie. That is Keel. You may think that we give to you, but you give to us with that and start the show. That's correct.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
Hello, Peter. What's happening? We have sort of a problem here. Yeah, you apparently didn't put one of the new cover sheets on your TPS reports.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry about that. I forgot.
Yeah. You see, we're putting the cover sheets on all TPS reports now before they go out. Did you see the memo about this?
Yeah. Yeah, I have the memo right here. I just forgot. But it's not shipping out till tomorrow, so there's no problem.
Yeah. If you could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on, that would be great. And I'll go ahead and make sure you get another copy of that memo. Okay?
Yeah, no, I have the memo. I've got it. It's right.
Hello, Phil. What's happening?
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are live from Studio 1K in the Fiberplex Broadcast Center. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. Downloaded worldwide 18 million times and powered by Encore Insurance. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 102.9 FM WTNT in Washington, D.C., and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa. We don't say it enough. Hello to Steve Bridges. Hello to Tommy Lang.
Of course.
Tom Suter. Mr. Drucker.
Kurt Means.
Kurt Means, another fantastic guy out there.
Janet Soboroff.
Who works the front desk.
That's right. And Kyle Hughes with the news.
Kyle Hughes with the news. Is
Afternoon
that a
news.
Is that a new person?
Yeah, he came on to replace Richard Podasky.
Oh, really? Where did Richard Podasky go?
I think Paris.
Did he actually leave the business?
I'm not sure.
Really, once you leave
I'm not
KCJJ,
sure where he landed.
There's no real point if you've worked at KCJJ to continue on in the business if you're not going to be working at KCJJ.
When he stopped being on KCJJ, I think a lot of people said, check Steve's shed.
Yes.
I think maybe he might be back there.
Oh, really? Like being like tanned?
Yes.
Yeah, that's nasty. Our show today is brought to you by Hulu Plus. Control is the best thing to have, and right now, Control just got a lot easier thanks to our good friends at Hulu Plus. They allow you to watch anything you want, anywhere you want, and great shows on there right now. Let me give you some of the shows that are existing right now on Hulu Plus for you. Jimmy Fallon, Modern Family, The New Girl, The Colbert Report, just to name a few. I mention it all the time because I love Downton Abbey, and Downton Abbey is a perfect show to binge on.
Yes.
And binging is what it's really all about. You can binge or you can watch it at
look
your
at
convenience.
us.
Yes, we're bingers. Use any of your devices. You know the time we're talking about. Your tablets, your smartphones. You can watch the Hulu Plus content on any of those devices. And the most important thing is control. Audiences all over America are demonstrating that they want control. They want control of their podcasts. They want control of their TV. And Hulu Plus is one of the best vehicles in the country to give you control of what you want. Just click the Hulu Plus banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com or go to HuluPlus.com/TMOS for 2 free weeks of great shows like Jimmy Fallon, Modern Family, The New Girl. We mentioned them before, The Colbert Report, and, of course, my all-time favorite, SpongeBob SquarePants.
But be honest, you don't really like SpongeBob as much as you like Patrick. He is a funny starfish.
Lives in a pineapple under the sea. SpongeBob SquarePants. Who's tighter and brighter and finer than me? SpongeBob SquarePants.
The album cut?
SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. Thank you. Anyway,
nice job. Wow, they got quiet so quickly.
Take control of your TV watching experience. Just click the Hulu Plus banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com or go to HuluPlus.com/TMOS and do it.
When?
Right now.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. What's the second? So, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? What's the second lyric? The real set. Who's me?
Yellow and porous and absorbent is he, I think. Let me find the lyrics for you. Hold on.
SpongeBob SquarePants, who's yellow and porous. Well, porous because he's a sponge.
Well, exactly.
And he's square.
Yeah.
Didn't Rob have an obsession with sponge? He still loves it, right?
Well, you know what? I'm burned on it because... Oh, here we go.
Aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, Captain!
Oh! Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
I was close.
If nautical nonsense be something you wish.
I don't get that part.
If nautical nonsense is something you wish.
Okay.
Then drop on the deck and flop like a fish.
Then drop on the deck and flop like a fish?
Yes, these are really not Cole Porter, are they?
Okay.
Ready?
SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants. I hope Michael William is into that.
Yeah, little Luca's into it.
Oh, does Luca dig it?
Oh, he sits there. He watches on Hulu Plus.
I used to watch it,
He does.
but my kids have watched it so much.
He
loves
digging
it?
Tony's got a big picture of SpongeBob in back of him now. See, it's fun to see the way your brain works, Pony. That's very cool.
The kids burned me on it. To let you know when I was into
Yes.
SpongeBob, there's actually a date as to when I ripped that MP3 into my March 4th, 2006. So it's been a while that I've been following it. Yeah.
Now, is there, because I have to catch up on this type of stuff.
Yes.
Now,
it's very plot-centric.
this is sort of a tribute to my 2 daughters. I should say that during the first go-round of Little Bitties, I probably wasn't the kind of dad that totally tracked with what was on the magic box.
But then there were mornings when you were on the first time around that you probably just let them watch whatever they want as long as it wasn't too loud.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is
Is that HBO?
Excuse me, is that Spice? Turn that off. Turn that off right now. I didn't really ever get into that, the video content.
Do you remember?
Do you know now we have a baby channel? There is a baby channel that I looked in on just the other day that was just very remedial. With
That's where I get all my
development.
news.
The baby channel.
The baby channel.
The baby channel was out there, and I was kind of into it. It was cute. I was
Do you
curious.
remember with your kids any shows they were really into growing up?
Teletubbies.
Rob, let me just say this: that due to the path of my marriage,
yes,
I probably would not be the best person to ask what the television programs were they were watching.
Let me rephrase the question. Do you remember
We're
the
talking
shows?
about 4-year-olds and 2-year-olds.
Do you remember the shows you were into when you were a kid? The ones that were really important.
Yeah,
to you?
I mean, because I remember, like most kids my age.
And did you root for the lead character, or did you root for his assistant Tonto?
You're very close. I remember Saturday morning I had, because I was Catholic,
Yes.
we had to go to catechism. And when we started... Catechism was basically Sunday school, but it was on Saturday. And the tough thing about
That's
going,
what evolved into CCD for the young modern Catholic.
CYO, Catholic Youth Organization, CCD, Catholic.
I went to
Catholic.
CCD.
Yeah, it stood for Central City Dump, remember? Am I right, ladies?
I threw up at catechism on the steps in front of the priest one time.
I threw up at CCD.
Yeah, because we probably overindulged our breakfasts in the morning.
I remember what I threw up.
I do too.
I threw up pancakes and Kool-Aid.
This is why Rob and I are both so healthy. I threw up scrambled eggs and Hawaiian punch.
Oh my God, almost a tie.
Yeah,
that's great. Who cleaned it up for you?
I was like whisked to the car.
Yeah, I was kicked out of the church.
Get out of the church.
They said the Methodists will have you.
I didn't vomit a lot when I was a kid, but I remember them because I vomited in Dan Reardon's father's car. After I went on the roundup at Riverside Park in Agawam, Massachusetts.
Oh, outstanding.
It's like, Mr. Reardon, I'm...
And you know what? If you threw up in a car from a ride in a theme park, that means you were nursing that heave for a long time.
Yeah, I got off the thing and I was like, it was the last ride of the day. Probably not the best judgment.
And you're in the back seat?
Somewhere on Route 91.
Was Mr. Reardon running the heat?
He had one of those big, I know it was something like an LTD.
Cigarettes?
And we were in the back. Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
a nice hot environment filled with cigarette smoke. And some reason the kid just couldn't keep his food down.
Dan Reardon was one of Rob, I had nerd friends forever. And so Dan Reardon was the first friend that I ever had where I thought my mom thought he was uncool.
Wow, bad?
Yeah, because he came down to breakfast after we had a sleepover.
Yeah.
And he was talking about having a radio in his bedroom. And he said, yes, I like to... I like to listen to quiet music at night before bed.
Oh, Glenn Hollis.
And he said, it's quite soothing.
A child says this?
A child said this, and my mother's look was just like... and I'd never seen my mom give that look before. And this is for the Ustreamers, but the look is like, what the hell's wrong with this kid?
What's wrong with this one? Yeah.
But he was great as far as creative play. We would go into the brook in back of his house.
Did you find it soothing?
Oh, I found it soothing. 3 fingers. No, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, Dan Reardon's nickname was the Gap.
No, Dan was like one of the Zen masters as far as taking plastic models of ships and planes
and inserting them places.
No, and destroying them in his brook. We did
naval. Oh my God!
We did naval battles with books and matches where the ships would be flaming going down the brook, and we'd throw rocks at them. Oh, we had so much fun. And what do you mean?
Are you
you're saying, oh my God, like was abnormal? No, we're playing Army.
You ever allowed to play with matches?
Well, we shouldn't have used the matches, but we used glue, and you light the glue thing on. If you lit the glue thing on fire, it would kind of go.
Yeah,
like a firework.
Now
it was great.
You know, playing with matches and glue. The next step is neighborhood animals. Do we know where Dan Reardon is now?
No, we didn't. Never that crap.
Yeah. Okay, so did he turn out okay?
I hated that because a lot of kids in my neighborhood did that crap, and I oh God, it was painful.
CR.
I had one day where I ran into my mom and dad's house because the boys had ended up in back of my yard with a pellet gun shooting at a squirrel.
Oh, that's bad.
And I ran into the house, and I was so freaked out by it.
Actually, you know what? I think it'd be okay to shoot a squirrel. That's vermin. But don't shoot a cat.
But it was the question of the way they were shooting it, and it was not. It was not.
Defenseless animal.
Well, you shoot a squirrel with a .22, you can kill it right away. But they were
like
just
the
being...
squirrel. They would have shot. They would have stopped shooting it, but it just wouldn't talk.
I had like serial killers in my neighborhood. I had guys that would take out a like a .22 or no, it's always a pellet gun because they only had pellet guns.
Well, that's what kids can have.
And one of the guys in my neighborhood would catch a sunfish on his fishing rod,
right?
And he would lift it out of the water, and he would shoot it, and he would shoot it with a pelican. I had some sick, twisted guys.
And that guy is
smashing blue jays that were, under a rock and
Are
stuff
they all
like
in
that.
politics now?
No, they were all just bad. They were bad kids. They really were. They ended up being. They were bad kids then. They grew up to be bad kids.
Were they the
and
pot kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they ended up being kind of like just in trouble with the law and stuff like that. And it's just I remember being a little kid that I loved blowing up stuff. I love firecrackers. I love things like that. I never liked doing it to animals. And I don't know whether that makes me normal.
Let's take this story
or what,
to the next level and turn it into a major motion picture. What happens is in the second half, he gets revenge by blowing up the kids that destroyed the animals.
That'd be a good plot of a movie, though.
Yeah.
If you have,
I just can't believe you would do that.
You have a kid that is traumatized by little boys in the neighborhood. You'd have to pick the story up when the kid's like 16, 17.
Well, it starts when he's young.
Yeah, well, let's say 4 or 5.
Right.
But then he is. Oh, this is the plot. Okay, write this down. Pony, write this down. Take pen to paper.
Yes.
Here's the plot. This is. We're gonna pitch this to the Hollywood executives. The kid is
When we see them,
he's 16 years old. You open. The scene opens on a dark basement room.
All right.
And on the table is this kid who, say, is 15, 16 himself, and he's begging for his life. He said, "What are you doing? I don't understand this. I don't understand." And the kid looks up, and finally, he argues, begs for his life, and then he looks up at the kid who's the serial killer.
The protagonist,
He said,
yeah.
"What are you doing?" And he looks down and he says, "We're all God's creatures." And then he smashes his head with a rock.
just like Dexter.
Yes.
The serial killer.
So I've stolen the idea, really.
No, his name is... His name is Matt O'Mara. Matt O'Mara.
But I remember that. It's just a vivid memory that I have. We had you guys have never been to my hometown. You've been up
thanks
to
for
Maine.
the invite.
Well, I never. It's not my hometown anymore.
Oh, I know.
I drive by. I get so sad when
But you can still score the best weed there.
when I drive through that town, and I drive by it when I'm on my way up to Boston or up to Maine, and I see my hometown, and it's just like a drag because I can't go there no more. My hometown house it now belongs to somebody else. Kathy knew. My sister knew. I said, yeah, we were going to stop in Glastonbury. She said, you should have gone by the house. And I said, no, that's kind of weird. Kathy says, I've been by. They haven't done anything to it.
God, you know what?
Kathy! Control freak!
The last time we were through McLean and by the house Big Daddy owned and built in 1939, we drove by to see what they had done. Just drove by. Carrie says, pull into the driveway. I said, I don't know if they...
Yeah, I feel creepy doing that.
Before I knew it, Carrie had knocked on the door and got us all in and, insisted on being shown around. She was a pushy broad.
I don't know how I would... I probably would welcome that. If somebody came to the door and said... I remember there was some old lady that lived here as a kid, because this house has been around since 1900.
Yeah.
And I think I was very accommodating. It's
Mother Hubbard?
As somebody that... As somebody that lives here, if you've got a person that's lived here before and they want to see, hey, I used to live in this house. Yeah, her evil like Wizard of Oz shoes.
He says, everything will be fine as long as you haven't built a studio or some such nonsense.
Have you been down to the cistern that protects you from the gate of hell?
But I would be okay, I guess. I mean, why anyone would want to come to a townhouse in Leesburg is beyond me. But,
right.
But as far as asking to be let in,
yes.
I was, and this doesn't happen to me much, I was mortified. Carrie said, "Oh, hi, I'm just wanted to say hi. We lived here for 10 years. Could we come in and have a look?"
Yeah, I said I wouldn't do that.
No.
Carrie's got balls that way, though.
She does.
She does. She has the brass. We ought to. I've always wanted to implement that brass that she's got in something that can benefit us on the show.
I tell you what, you can have her.
For restaurant reservations and calling hotels and things like that.
Yeah.
Have Carrie be the spokesperson for the show.
Yeah.
And incidentally, I think I might be enlisting her for that task coming up here very soon.
Really?
Yes,
You know what? She'll dig it.
She likes to do that, right? She gets you stuff for free, doesn't she?
Well, she gets her stuff for free.
Oh, well, then she's just like you.
What she doesn't do is she doesn't do things to benefit the general public.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like you.
Just like me.
We'll take a break. Then we will come back.
17 years, Mike.
You're both good at it. We'll take a break, come back with more on the Mike O'Mara Show right after this.
How lucky can one guy be?
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. When is Josh Murphy going to be popping in here?
Doesn't he usually come in on Friday?
It's Friday, his day.
All right. Is there a Thursday night game? You guys
There
don't
is.
know. Is there a Thursday
Yes.
night game? All right. Well, I'm going to
He's got your lineup set. I can check if you'd like.
Very good. I'm very curious about. We're talking about
Text him in
FanDuel.com.
class. Yeah, FanDuel.
We're getting into season 3, week 3 rather, of the regular season of the NFL. I hope you're playing FanDuel.com, and I hope you're enjoying it. FanDuel.com is the place for 1-week fantasy football leagues for real money. In my case, not Oscar's. The money is in my pocket.
Hey, you know what? In
Yes,
your
it is.
case, Mike, it's real big money.
There is no season-long commitment, no upfront fees. Play each week or whenever you want to play. It's all up to you. Set a new lineup for each week based on salary cap. FanDuel.com has huge prizes with immediate cash payouts. FanDuel is paying out more than $135 million this year, but you have to play to win, so sign up today.
It's $135 million that they're paying out, and a large portion of that goes to Mike O'Mara.
Right into my wallet.
That's right.
FanDuel.com. Don't forget to click the microphone in the upper right-hand corner and enter the code TMOS. When you do that, you will get up to $200 free money to play with.
It's free money, Oscar.
You have to enter the code TMOS when you join, though. FanDuel.com, where every week is a new season. That's FanDuel.com. Use my code TMOS and sign up today.
Perfect.
I want to open up the book on Oscar's World because
interesting.
Oh, is
I
it
wrote
time?
down today there's been a bit of a controversy on the social networking websites concerning Oscar and giving Shannon the hard time about decorating.
Right.
A lot of people are saying that Oscar, that you talk out of both sides of your mouth. That at one time you say,
Oscar's World.
I want it this way. And on another way, you say whatever.
Oscar's World.
It doesn't really matter to me. So I'm curious, which is it? I mean, do you care or do you not care? Because you seem to care about the what is the status of the twig wall mural
And
that
the
is-
berries.
the twig and the berries,
The wall art.
the wall art. What is the status
The
of the wall art?
status he left us with as observers is that he is a man of a queer duality. That he cares and yet he doesn't care. So really, Oscar, what is
I am a gay American.
What is the bottom line, dude?
Well, first, I think I got a lot of hate mail after, was it Monday's show or Tuesday's show?
I don't remember.
Probably both
Tuesday's show,
shows.
yeah.
They all run together
Yeah,
today.
you know, hate mail every day. I got really, I guess the crux of the hate was that I was using money as a weapon.
Yes.
Because I mentioned that if you are in the position, whether you're male or female, and you are the prominent breadwinner in the family,
Yes.
that you should have final say in your household.
And I disagreed with
Yeah,
that.
and you disagree. Most people disagreed with me.
Yes.
And the male,
Well, it's something you might want to achieve that, but I'm just saying I don't think in a modern household you're going to achieve that.
no, I agree with you, and I understand that.
Right.
So after Tuesday's show, before I received all that hate mail, I went home and I sat down with my lovely lady, and we had a pep talk of sorts.
Oh dear,
And-
another pep talk. Here we go.
And I said-
You really maybe want to change the nomenclature. That might be a first step.
Well, pep talk is his. That's his term for lecturing.
Yeah.
Shannon.
And we sat down, and I said, "Look,
Has she ever given you a pep talk?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, she'd like to see more abs.
See how I'm trying to humanize him a little
why
bit?
not?
I'm trying to undemonize him.
But you see, example of her pep talk, I'd like to see more abs. His pep talk, I am the king,
Right.
and you're nothing.
No, I never said that.
You implied it.
No. I said, look, if there's ever a time in our relationship where I make you feel like we're less than equals, I'm sorry. Because that simply isn't the case.
Conditional apologies are great.
And as he was saying that to her, she responded with,
No. She said that's not the case at all. She said
And then
that,
Oscar said, let's go visit Steve Bridges' shed.
no. And
was this a scheduled meeting when you gave her the pep talk? Did you just arrive home and decide, let's have a talk?
no, I said when we get home, we just need to catch up.
Right.
So just like we would,
She burst into tears.
No, and she was fine. She was actually laughing about it. I said, the guys made me feel like a monster a little bit on the show today about the silhouette tree, and I just really want to get your take.
Because catching up in Shannon's world means
No, come on, please.
You
Right.
catch up with his knuckles.
And she said the most modern, respectful thing I would expect to come out of a woman. And a man, or a man.
I love it when you self-edit.
She says to me, she goes, look, she goes, I know if we traded spaces and I was the one going out and taking care of all this business, that I would expect certain things from you. And I know that you'd be more than willing to do those things, which, yeah, they don't equate to dollars and cents, but they equate to our lives together.
Let me stop right now
Yes.
in midstream and ask both of you.
Okay.
Because I think this is a legitimate question.
Right.
Would you think, Rob, and this goes to you because you've been married the longest,
right?
And to one person. I'm going to
Oh,
say,
even if you add yours up, I still got
if
you.
I add my, that's right. Even if I add mine,
17 years next month.
Let me see. Yeah, maybe it might be close.
It is close
because I've been married to Carla for 4 years.
But I still win.
Do you still win?
Yeah, I do.
Because I'm 7 plus 6 plus 4.
7, 6, and 4 is it's tied. Then it breaks down to months.
I'm not sure whether I've got 6 though.
Are you counting the separation?
I don't.
Yeah, those times you took breaks.
If we were going to do this,
Yes.
no, because breaks don't count if you're married. It would have to be the legal document of the end of the marriage.
Okay, see, I was,
and I wouldn't even.
I
know
might
what
have
that
been
is.
looking at the actual real estate apart.
I don't know, but the question is this: would you say that the most frequent subject of argument in a marriage would be what you do and what I do? Because I think that if I look back on that, it's for, and not necessarily always in the terms of, I work hard, you should do this, but basically daily duties and the idea of who is
responsible
for different things in the household.
If you're painting with broad strokes, yes, but to be specific, I think what we argue the most about is money.
But that's related to
and
that.
it is related, so I give you a tentative yes.
Right.
And the responsibilities tend to fall, and they always have with us sort of along a natural sort of way.
Like what you
What I
don't
take
mind
care of.
doing and what she doesn't
Not
mind
necessarily what I don't mind doing, it's just what I want to see get done.
doing.
If I truly want the laundry put away,
Right.
I got to do that. And now she loves, starting a load of laundry.
See, my wife is the laundry doer, and she will go so far as to say she doesn't want someone else doing the laundry.
Oh, now I feel...
She doesn't even want if somebody was to come from outside and do the laundry.
Now I feel really awkward.
Why is
because
that?
yesterday I did like 2 loads for you guys.
I wish.
Did you separate the whites and the darks?
But hold on, people that do,
I have for years.
I've noticed this. People that do laundry like to do laundry. Do you enjoy? I mean,
I hate it.
You hate it.
I hate it, but it's got to get done. And I think this goes way back
It's
with
a
us.
massive household task.
It is, and the problem is Carrie, and I said this before, she loves to start a load of laundry.
Right.
But if it's not touched, stuff will stay in the dryer.
Right.
For a week.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I've seen her go and pull garments out of the dryer that she needs and then close it again.
Well, the worst thing to
it's
do...
like the 5th drawer.
The worst thing to do is to, as opposed to leaving something in the dryer, is to leave something in the washer.
Oh.
That's the old stinky mold
Yeah.
thing. So what I'm talking about, Oscar, is the fact that, I think every relationship has, these are your tasks, these are my tasks.
What you're
am I gonna
responsible
do?
And,
Right,
and
exactly.
before we move to Oscar, I also think that the longer you're with someone, a system establishes itself.
Right.
And so
Right.
what might be a problem in the first 2 or 3 years of a relationship, and you're with her a year and a half?
Yeah, we don't. But it's not a big problem.
No, it's not. But
Yeah.
it's more likely to happen in the infancy of a relationship.
Yes.
Because the systems haven't established themselves yet.
Yeah.
So,
And a lot of, I wish for people to have it kind of evolve, where it happens naturally, where it's organic, as opposed to where, here's a list of your duties, here's a list. It kind of just happens.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you have that in your household?
There's
She does stuff, you do stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
We do, and you should know that before this, before she moved to the D.C. area,
Yes.
from Scottsdale, Arizona, she put me on to a book that is called Love and Respect. Now, it's got a lot of Christian kind of undertones through it.
Nothing wrong with that.
But it talks about how you set up your new relationships,
Right.
especially it's really saving your marriage before you get married.
By,
right?
what's it called again?
Love and Respect.
By Jim Bob Duggar.
and then in parentheses is Courtin.
Courtin is the game.
Courtin apostrophe.
Courtin is a game that a grown-ups play.
And I won't do I won't give it, I guess, the sell that I should be giving it. But
Do
I
you
will
think
tell
it's available through Amazon?
It is. That's where I got it from. But I will, and she got it too. And I listened to it, and she read it.
Okay.
And this book really dictates on how you, early in a relationship, have to set up expectations.
Right.
Because we are programmed individually, both the female and the male, to kind of look for a man that does what our fathers did.
Right.
Or what our mothers did.
Mm-hmm.
And that always doesn't line up. Because if you come from a single-parent household, you're used to doing your mom doing this, or your father doing this, or doing everything.
Right.
So when you start living together, you start learning about what your expectations are from the male or female role.
That is really valid because, my dad, I was mostly a single parent kid, and maybe that is why I end up doing most of the stuff.
Well, and also you can get people, feminists, and people that are, saying that this is a little bit too stereotypical. And
It goes both ways. For example, in the book, the father. The male protagonist in this was talking about how his father used to do everything like Rob, like decorate the place. That's what you do, and the mom wouldn't do a lot. And the woman he was getting married to, the woman liked to decorate.
Okay.
So he had a conflict because he was like, "Well, I should be taking care of this," because he
didn't see it as her role.
He didn't see it as her role.
Right.
It was his role.
It makes psychological sense.
So when you have these conflicts, you talk about it. You say,
talk it
"This
out.
is why I have an issue with this.
Right.
I grew up in this type of household."
Right.
And if you want to take this on, you start just communicating.
And you grew up in a household where your mom was there all the time. She worked,
Yes,
but
and
your dad was not around.
My dad slayed the dragon, though.
Right.
He paid the mortgage,
Right.
paid the car bills, paid for college, paid for private school.
Right.
And that was his responsibility.
That was his thing.
Yes.
Now, when it's between you and Shannon, who buys the most printers?
I will say this, that Shannon won because when I got home, we ordered 2 more trees, and they're going up.
All right, it's
Very
good.
exciting. Take a break, come back with more with Oscar's World on the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Hey, I want to say thank you to our listening audience for sharing with us all their wonderful choices they're making on Vistaprint.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that the folks at Vistaprint.com create all their business card designs in-house? Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
They have an amazing team over there, and you should see the options they offer. That's why it's so easy to make your own personal and distinctive business cards, because Vistaprint is the best. And really, what a delightful company to be associated with, because
Proud.
they make it easy and they do it in a cost-effective way. Check this great deal out. Just for our listeners, 250 high-quality premium cards for just $10. You still cannot beat that deal.
No.
Shipping is included. Just go to Vistaprint, pick your industry and your card, and start designing. And we'd love to see pictures of your cards, or you can even send a card to our P.O. Box 3 here in Manassas, Virginia. In
20108.
20108, if you want to send that along, we'd appreciate that. Choose your fonts, your colors, the size and location of the text. You can add pictures, maps, logos, anything you want. And just when you think it can't get any better, you can personalize the back of your card as well. The possibilities are endless for a business card that is truly you. To get 250 cards for only $10, go to Vistaprint.com and click the Heard Us on TV radio button and enter our code TMOS.
And if you think you can't do everything, when I had my business cards done by Vistaprint, they actually put my head on the card, and the printing is on my forehead. They were able to make my head fit.
There it is.
I think that's amazing. Yeah.
It's Vistaprint.com. Check it out. We're in the middle of Oscar's world here, and we're talking about relationships and the fact that Oscar caught some heat over the discussion of the wall hanging. And
on fire.
You are a person that I have found that if it's on your mind, it is out of your mouth. You usually, you're sensitive, you're thoughtful, but you also will let people know if you're not happy.
And I would like them to let me know as well.
Right.
And,
sure.
And again, you could either let it stew forever or you just get it out of the way. And I'm not talking about being violent, rude, destructive. I'm talking about simply sitting down and having a decent and honest conversation. And the other book and again, we didn't read this because we thought we were going to get married. We read this book because it simply was given to Shannon.
You wanted to cohabitate.
We wanted to cohabitate.
To be perfectly honest, Oscar got it on tape.
Yeah, I did.
He didn't really read it.
Well, no, he can't.
Yeah,
which is cheating. He can't read.
I also got this. I heard that. Saving your marriage before it starts, 7 questions to ask before and after you marry.
Is there any math in the questions?
No, but it's just simple questions.
Right.
That people don't ask themselves.
Right.
Like, do you have an example of any of the questions?
Well, the other question is kind of like a lot of people don't talk, if you didn't know this, they don't talk about having kids.
Right.
They automatically assume that the person they're going to be with wants to have kids.
Well, in normal circumstances.
Yeah, exactly.
In my world, it was discussed quite frequently, and and things evolve. That's one thing I've learned. Things evolved over time, and my God, I will tell you this, even in my depleted physical condition that I've had the last 24 hours, that is life-giving. I look at that little guy, that wonderful little face, and it's life-giving. But it's true. Most couples probably just jump in and assume that they're going to have a family and they're going to do the whole thing.
The white picket fence, where they want to live. Are they city dwellers? Do they want to move to the suburbs? Just small questions.
Exactly.
That's all it is. And again, Who knows? Take everything with a grain of salt, but it helped us to communicate.
Is there anything in the book about your lack of gratitude for gifts that your father wants to give you?
That would be another book, Mike.
We were talking before
7
the show,
different questions.
because
That's
really, in the
hilarious.
complicated world of Mr. Oscar Santana, and he is a complicated lad. He truly is.
I'm conflicted.
He's conflicted. There are all sorts of. In Oscar's world, you go from the very cutting edge, technological networker who helps this business that we do so much, who's really on the ball with everything that is new and innovative.
On the go.
Then you hear things come out of his mouth where he still should be back in Bolivia, living in a grass hut.
Exactly.
Because he'll have antiquated views of men and women, and it's very, very strange, and it's all over the place. But, we're all a complicated tapestry, aren't we, Rob?
Yes, we are, really. And, the more you pull at it, the more it unravels.
So all I got from the beginning of the show, and when we decided we would once again devote a lot of our time to talking about Oscar's world.
Of course. I love it.
Is that your father wants to give you some sort of gift, and you were rejecting the gift, and you're conflicted about
It
that.
came to a head yesterday because we had a business lunch at Tyson's Corner yesterday.
Right.
Yes.
And
Which was lovely.
Yeah, about 2 months ago, my father came to me and he said, Oscar, I have realized that I owe you a watch. And I was like, oh.
Now, where did this come from?
Out of left field for me.
He owes you a watch.
Yeah.
Is this some sort of graduation gift
Yeah,
that he's supposed to give you?
again, I was like, I graduated in 2002 from WVU. I think I got like $100.
Mike, there's an old Bolivian tradition, and that you get a watch every time you do 10 podcasts at once.
Congratulations.
And I said, Papa, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you don't owe me anything.
I owe you a watch. I've given your brothers and your sisters a watch.
It is written in the mountains.
Well, sister is singular. You only have one sister.
That's the crux. So when my sister graduated from med school, my dad got her a very nice watch, a fancy watch. When my brother graduated from med school, my father got him a very fancy watch. And he says to me, now, there was hope that you would go to law school or you would go to medical school, but we have realized that you're not.
Oh, it's sad.
And as I get
Did he really say that to
Yes. Yeah, it was great.
So that art imitates life. That's like the real bit.
Yeah.
We have established the fact that you are an unmitigated failure. You have not gone to law school or medical
So
school.
I said, Dad, what are you trying to say? And
So
he
did you
said,
drop in on your dad since you were in the
No, I
Tyson's
was taking
area?
him to dinner.
Was it a way of
This
him?
was last Friday.
Oh,
I'm
last
going to go the positive route
Yeah.
here.
Good.
Was it a way of him, by any chance, saying to you that he feels like you have made your way in life and that he is happy with what you were doing
It
now?
took him about 30 minutes to get there. But
Well played, Mike.
once he got there, I was like, okay, Pops, let's do this.
Because, obviously, if the watch comes at the end of this educational pathway that your brothers and sisters have taken,
Yes.
and, he's saying, I owe you a watch, it would mean that in some way he feels that you have found your calling, at least, and you have completed. I don't know if he listens to the podcast, if you agree with that.
There is one other possible explanation.
You have finally worked with Mike O'Mara. You have achieved the top of the mountain.
See, I thought he was going in a different direction, which was, Mike O'Mara has called me, and there is a question about your punctuality. It is time you have a watch so you get to the studio on time.
Make sure that you set it regularly.
That's right.
Oscar, so I don't...
It
I
came
still
to
don't
a
get
head.
it. Yeah.
Basically, it came to a head last Friday because I was dodging him for
Yes.
the past 2 months.
Dodging him to take him out to dinner?
No. To
Discuss
get
the watch thing.
Because
because you thought
I
it was...
said, that's cool, I got it, no big deal.
So when he offered up the watch, did you think something was coming because he was going to offer you the watch?
No. I knew he had given me a budget for the watch to pick it out.
Oh, so is this what your brothers and sisters do?
Yes.
You pick out your own
Yeah, I
watch?
bet it's got to be a certain brand.
Can you write down the
Yeah,
number?
I'll write it down. It's got to be a certain brand.
I am okay with you getting a watch, but
So-
I am not
Oscar's father is a professional. He's not.
Well, he's worked his entire life.
He's not.
Public
He's
health.
not. He's not. He's not the super 1%er, but he's somebody that's made a decent living.
And since Oscar has he has Oscar choosing one brand of watch, obviously his dad knows a guy.
No, he does not know a guy. I wish he knew a guy. So, when I figured out how much this watch cost, he said,
No way.
I said to him,
That's a
Dad,
decent. That's a decent
I said,
watch.
and again, for me, the guy who would roll with swatches all his life.
Right.
Does it have a second hand?
I don't know what it has, Rob.
Does it have a
I
calendar?
said I don't feel comfortable with a watch
Calculator?
like this. While it's a great great token of if this is tradition that whatever it may be, I'm excited about that. You may want to just why don't we take that money and invest on the stock market?
What about that?
No, I don't want that.
Okay,
I don't want that. He has that.
Really?
Yeah, he has.
Then you'd be
You
rolling
get a nice
in
one of those
light
for
circles.
that.
I don't know,
Yeah, sure.
but I'm not a watch guy.
But if you really
No,
want
but
to
you know what? You are a watch guy, and I do remember when we were shooting the regulars, you wore a watch because it was television, and you said, "Yeah, but it's not set to the right time because I don't use
You
it." for
got
the
a
time."
nice watch.
Yeah.
Pull the
Dude.
curtain back. You
Yeah,
got a
you wear
great
a
watch.
watch.
You have a more expensive watch
You
than
know
I do.
why I have that watch?
Why?
Because it's the only good thing that came out of my previously failed relationship.
Well, that's right. She
it was
got
a
it
gift
for
for
you.
me. Yeah.
And imagine what she had to do for that.
That's how much a good one costs.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't want that. I think it's a
real
waste
good.
of money. I
Yeah.
think this is a waste of money.
You do?
Yeah, so I've been.
Mike always told me it was an investment.
I was dodging left and right. I would go back and forth, and I didn't want to get it. And he's
What
leaving.
kind of
for-
watch do you have?
I don't wear a watch. I haven't in probably 10 years. All right.
Yeah. So
Pause for a second, Oscar, because I want to ask you something.
here we go.
Do you ever go anywhere without this?
No.
Okay. Do we have a clock here in this? Yes, we do. I have a clock in my computer. There's a clock there. Everywhere I go, there's
I'm gonna
clocks.
I'm going to answer that question. The answer is yes. At night, I come down into the studio and I charge my phone.
Okay.
So when I wake up first thing in the morning, which is really the most important time
Right.
check of the day, I use my watch.
You see, you know what? And that works for
So
you.
that's the way
But
I
in
do
my
it.
bedroom, I have the projection clock.
Right.
So it's on the wall there.
But you understand it just felt
I
more-
understand.
Just felt good to play that.
I think now more than ever, a watch is a piece of jewelry. It's not. It doesn't have a task anymore.
Yeah, I like watches.
So
Yeah.
my dad writes me a check for what the watch is.
Besides, none fit around my wrist.
It's supposed to cost.
Will
right?
you be expected to see your father in the future
He
and
wrote
wear the
me
watch?
this check a month ago, and we go out to dinner, and he's like, "How's your week?" And I'm like, "Yeah, my week's great." And he's like, "Where is the watch?"
Did he ask you to price the watch?
Yeah, well, he told me what models that he liked. I don't want this watch, so he gave.
You
goes,
shouldn't have taken the money. then.
Here's the check, and
Well,
I didn't-
whether or not he put the check somewhere, that's really what's key.
yeah,
here.
I haven't cashed a check
It's
yet.
so delightfully complicated, your relationship
Yes,
with your father.
it really
truly-
is.
it's like
Isn't
dealing
it?
with the mob.
It's like
There is no mafia.
it's making me cry and laugh at the same time. He basically does the very best he can for
He
you.
strong arms me.
But he does it in a very difficult way.
Yeah.
And you're over here, hey, let's be honest. The podcast is doing well, but we fight the good fight
Not
every day.
doing that well.
And
Yeah.
we can always
Yeah.
do better.
You know what
It
this
can
is?
always do better.
This is Shelley Runyon making
Yes.
him eat the porterhouse.
Exactly.
Even though he doesn't eat meat.
He'll have this watch.
Yeah.
Well, who says I have to get that? I do. And why is that? Because I'm giving you the check.
And I have a very big microphone.
So he gives you the check, and you deposit the check.
I haven't deposited it yet.
So the check.
Well, I have now because I got the talking to.
Okay, so what happened after that? So
So,
you hadn't deposited.
he said-
How long ago did he give you the check before you?
Month and a half.
So it's been sitting there for a month
been
and a half.
sitting
That's
there.
too big a check to sit there for that. He's
Yeah,
going to check
he,
it.
well, he noticed, and he always
Right.
looks at my wrist,
Right.
And I said,
I think we all do.
I said, Papa, I was like, honestly, this money could be used elsewhere for good elsewhere. And he goes,
And you need it.
yeah, and I said, Oscar, when I give you money for one thing, it's for that one thing. And I said,
Can't argue with him
I
about
said,
that.
I was like, Dad, I'd rather give you this money. Like, it's not something, Oscar.
See, then he goes into. Then you go into full
Yeah,
Oscar. Dad, I'll just give you the check back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, he goes, Oscar, this is not the discussion. You are taking me to the airport on Saturday, and you better be wearing that watch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to go, Dad.
Yeah.
Way to go, Dad. So you're going to
So
go get it?
I went yesterday.
Yeah?
I perused. I found it, and it'll be delivered to my home sometime before. I think tomorrow afternoon.
With armed
You're going
guards?
to come in here? You're going to wear it in here?
Oh, I don't think I'll ever wear it. Except for like
Well,
except
you
for
better wear it
fancy-
to the
fancy
airport.
situations.
Why wouldn't you wear it?
You don't feel comfortable.
Well, you know
get
what?
rolled.
Speaking for
You're
Mike,
not going to get rolled.
speaking for Mike and Pony, I think we'd all like to see it.
Could you bring it in here, please?
Yeah.
I could bring it in.
And we won't show it because we'll
No.
honor your privacy.
I
We
will
won't
say
use it as the show picture
that
that
the
day.
tradition is. Can I say this?
Yes.
The tradition is a touching, and I
Right.
respect my father.
Now, that is
He's-
cool,
He's
yeah.
73 years old. If that's his thing, that's his
Right.
thing. I get it,
Right.
right? But for some reason,
Did it have to be that brand?
I thought yes, it had. There was. Hello, did you hear my conversation? There was no back and forth.
so he gave him a model number.
You couldn't. Really? He gave you a model number?
He
Yeah.
Well, this is what he said. I wanted your brother to get this. but he decided to get something else. But he got the same same brand, different model.
Really?
He goes,
So-
but I've always dreamed of somebody having this.
Well, then let him do it. Then let him do it.
So
and
he's
you gotta-
living
you gotta
through my
honor the-
wrist.
Yeah.
And I said,
Is it a metal strap or is it a leather strap?
God, I should hope so.
No,
Metal.
those watches he's talking about have leather
Yeah,
straps
but
as
if you,
well.
if you
And some
get
of
the
them-
one with the leather strap, I hope you get the rest of the cow with it.
It doesn't work that
the leather
way.
ones are more expensive at times.
Yeah, the
Really?
leather
And-
ones. Yeah, because the classic one of that brand is has the leather strap on it.
Wow, I am
mean,
so
I'm a
not-
watch guy.
Yeah, I just don't run in watch circles.
Right.
The crux is that tradition is tradition, and
Look at me. I spend my money on rings.
he's leaving for Brazil for 2 weeks.
Right.
And when I drive him to Dulles, because I'm still a chauffeur,
Yes.
at 35, he'll be staring at my wrist the entire time.
I would give. You know what I would love during the holidays if he's back in town.
Have him come
I
by?
would- no, not even on the show. If he wants to come by the show, but that'd be uncomfortable for him. I would love to have a lunch with your dad. I would love it because I don't have my dad around
man.
anymore, and I like seeing
We'll
the
set
dads.
that up.
We should have a father-son lunch.
My
and
dad
I'll
will
bring
be there.
and I'll bring Michael in the stroller.
That'd be great.
And we'll have a father-son lunch.
That works.
I'd love that.
You want to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that a good idea? That's the kind of idea you get when you have when your veins are coursing with NyQuil.
The problem that you have, though, is having to turn it around by Saturday is you've removed the possibility of going on eBay and pocketing the difference.
Oh, you don't think I didn't want to pocket anything, but I looked at secondhand watches.
Of course.
I looked at watches that were on Craigslist.
I don't
was like,
think
somebody
that-
got out of a bad marriage.
Is your father knowledgeable about the product enough? And I bet he's not. That you could get yourself a knockoff.
Yeah, the streets of New York?
No, but you don't want to get a knockoff because the street. You know how you know the streets of New York? It's the weight.
The weight.
You're right.
If you pick
weight.
that thing up, you go, "Oh my God, this thing
Yeah.
feels like it's made out of plastic."
When you drop
But
it, it comes down like a feather.
you remember my issues. There are knockoff watch sites and that are reputable that you can do that.
Not
with.
.ru.
No, not the not the ones
My
the
fa-
Russian ones like I almost got totally ripped off with.
If I bought a knockoff for one reason or another, in some way or another,
You wouldn't be able to live with yourself.
no, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. And my father at 73 is pretty spry.
Yes.
So we
Yeah.
grew up in a pretty intense. And
So he'd kick your ass.
I would
Chase it.
I would get through it, Mike and Rob. I would get through it until Christmas, until my brother picked up my knockoff and be like,
Okay.
"Why'd you buy a fake one?"
Hey, this isn't
and
a-
he would do it in front of my father,
Hey, Daddy.
my sister.
Daddy's got a fake watch here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
so
no, that's slimy.
here's
Can't
what
do that.
you know what you're going to do?
What?
My advice to you. You
Yes.
not only you have to get it,
Yes.
right?
I already did.
You already got it.
Yeah.
Well, wear the goddamn thing every day.
Yeah.
Wear the thing
Oh,
every
yeah.
single day.
Yeah, and insure it.
And insure it.
No.
Yeah, you
Absolutely. I'm
should.
not wearing it.
You're not going to wear it?
Just on special occasions.
What are you going to put it like in a special case
I'll wear
or
it at
something?
Americon.
Okay, wear it at America.
yeah.
That would be great
Yeah,
door
yeah.
prize.
That would be wonderful.
Wouldn't that be a great door prize at the
And
show?
at the next TM Soft Happy Hour.
You never know. Listen, both
Yes.
of you should be aware of this, and we don't have much time to talk about
Right.
this, but you never know that you could go on a vacation to Cancun, be going down a water slide, and suddenly that brain-eating amoeba is going to get into your body.
Again with
It's
this?
going to go. I'm sorry. It's going to be the death of our society.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Mike saw The Wrath of Khan once, 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's where the little earwig goes in.
And you've been thinking about it ever since.
I've seen also, there's the one. What's the? Well, they're all the same. Science fiction movies where they have little cauldrons and then it always goes into the ear.
Yeah.
It always goes into the ear and comes out the mouth. Just like a good porno.
That's another category.
I swear to
ATM.
God. Let me throw it out there
All
because
right.
this is not scientific. So if you're following along at home,
Yes.
understand that this might be complete jabberwocky.
Yes.
Here, is that the right word for that?
Yeah, nonsense.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
So let me just say this. I believe that we are, polluting our planet on a daily basis more than we ever have before.
With cigarettes.
Cigarette butts.
That's right, Pony.
Thank you, Pony.
To Matthew Bloom.
We are also, the population is growing.
That's right.
The water supplies in certain areas, we have drought.
They're dwindling.
We have drought all over this planet.
Right.
Our water in general, more than the drought, the water that we have on this planet is getting dirtier and dirtier.
That's right.
And I think when you hear about the fact that in stagnant water in certain parts of the world, this little brain-eating amoeba, which they can't figure out how to cure, is getting into people's brains and killing
Scary.
them, it's a terrifying thing. And Rob, I know you
It
take
can enter
lightly.
through the nose.
You know, how would you feel if it was in your backyard? You wouldn't feel
Well,
the same way.
what's
Oh,
horrible-
I'd hate it.
Yes.
I'd get raid. I'd spray down.
Okay, there you go.
Well, what's tough about that, even, like spinal meningitis, right?
Yes.
Oh, it's the
when that
worst
happens,
meningitis.
It's with the fluid that's in your brain. Like,
Just so happy over there. Nothing affects him. Nothing affects him other than somebody dying at King's Dominion. Then he'd be concerned. Oh, wow. That's it. Give me 2 roller coasters at King's Dominion.
Oh, the grizzly?
Oh, the grizzly. Somebody got impaled on the grizzly.
That'd be all right. How about the intimidator?
Intimidator. There it is. Yeah.
no,
Dominator?
that doesn't even affect him.
Just
you know
avoid,
that.
you know what I would do if I went to King's Dominion? You ever go on the water-based rides?
Sure.
You go on the water, like the log flume.
The Whitewater Canyon?
You go on the Whitewater Canyon?
Yeah.
That's brain-eating amoeba territory.
You know what you do on the Whitewater Canyon?
Brain-eating amoeba territory.
Fingers in your ears and exhale through your nose. That blows the amoebas out. The amoebas.
The amoebas.
Hey, my name is Mike Amoeba.
Hey, where your amoeba at? There we go. Wow, I got an amoeba taking care of me. Anyway, I look forward to seeing that watch.
Yes, and without amoebas.
Without amoebas. We're going to take a break, come back with news you may not need on the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by our Amazon page. We talk about it all the time because it's the one place to go for everything you need. Do you love music?
I do.
Sure you do. Well, music lovers, Amazon has got you covered. Of course, Amazon has all the CDs that you crave, but also hundreds of thousands of MP3s available for instant download. And you can do all that crap that Rob likes to do with those as well.
You
If
know what?
need it,
I figured
I'm not gonna
this
read
out.
the rest of this
I
copy.
figured this out. Let's say you have an album you like. You buy it on CD. You get that free download with it. Here's what you do. You save the download for yourself. Send the CD to someone else. You look like a hero because you're sending a gift.
That's pretty
And you
cool.
still get the music. It's double the music for half the price.
Because you keep all your music digitally.
Of course, that's how everyone does it now.
So you can send the actual
Send the CD to your
jacket.
mom.
That's very nice.
Because your mom likes CDs.
She likes CDs.
Sure.
And
Oh, there you
DVDs.
go. Yeah.
And you can do DVDs on Amazon, too.
You can buy anything at Amazon.
What is auto rip?
Auto rip is what I'm just telling you. Is if
Oh.
you buy a CD or
I
an
wasn't
LP on Amazon, you get the album, but they also send you the MP3s, like as an instant download.
You have a digital copy.
So you have a copy right in your computer, and then you don't have to worry about taking the disc out, putting it in your computer, ripping it, and having it.
And is it too early to say that Christmas is just around the corner?
Mike, it's actually a little too late. If you haven't started your Amazon Christmas shopping already, you might be in trouble.
Really, this year more than any other year, people, we really need you to think about this show when you're getting your Amazon
Yes.
Christmas shopping done. Today and every day. Save money. Support the show. Just click Amazon at MikeO'MaraShow.com and bookmark it, Buster Brown.
From around the globe, across the nation, and looking through your neighbor's window, the Mike O'Mara Show now presents News You May Not Need, a comprehensive look at the stories you may or may not be talking about during your daily activity. And now, News You May Not Need.
Investigators have been focusing on the erratic behavior of a former Navy reservist who law enforcement officials say was grappling with paranoia and had reported hearing voices and being followed before he gunned down 12 people at the Washington Navy Yard this week. The Department of Veterans Affairs said Wednesday that 34-year-old Aaron Alexis visited 2 hospitals in the weeks before the Monday morning rampage, but denied that he was depressed or having thoughts of harming himself or others. Alexis, who died in a police shootout after the rampage, complained of insomnia during the August 23rd emergency room visit to a VA medical center in Providence. He was giving sleep medication and advised to follow up with a doctor. He made a similar visit 5 days later to the VA hospital in Washington, when he again complained of not being able to sleep because of his work schedule. His medication was refilled.
I don't want to step on what you're doing here. Do you have anything about his mother?
I don't.
She released a statement yesterday.
I listened to her comment about how she's glad that he can't hurt anybody
This
else.
plays better in the vault in here than in the vault. I'd like to play it if I
Please.
could. This is his mom. It's kind of heartbreaking because as a parent, this is perhaps your worst nightmare.
100%.
And her name is Kathleen Alexis.
Our son, Aaron Alexis, has murdered 12 people and wounded several others. His actions have had a profound and everlasting effect on the families of the victims. I don't know why he did what he did, and I'll never be able to ask him why. Aaron is now in a place where he can no longer do harm to anyone, and for that I am glad. To the families of the victims, I am so very sorry that this has happened. My heart is broken.
So sad.
Yeah, no win. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you're right, you're right.
On the bonus hour this week on the show, we're going to be going a little deeper into this Navy Yard, tragedy. It's not going to be a gun rant for those
No.
of you that have tried to pigeonhole yours truly. That is not my
Actually, I
politics.
don't think it's going to be a rant at all. I think it's going to be a discussion.
But we will be talking about where he got the gun and what kind of gun he got, and along with all the other aspects of this. And it won't be the focus of the bonus show, but we're going to cover it because when things are on our mind, that's what we use the bonus show for. And if we want to get a little blue, we get blue too, and we use bad language. So that's what the bonus hour is all about
Will you
this
use
week.
the S word?
We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be fun. Our bonus hour is going to be fun, but there'll be a part of that. When we do that this week. So be aware of the Mike O'Mara Show bonus hour. And really, folks, spread the word. We'd like to get those numbers going in the right direction on the bonus hours as well, and we thank you in advance for that. The Washington Navy Yard reopened for normal operations Thursday, with returning employees saying they still felt unsettled about the shooting there earlier this week.
I guess so.
This guy, Aaron Alexis, killed 12 people. Some employees who streamed by the red brick wall of the Navy Yard in the early morning sun said it was too soon for them to even talk about the shootings. Others said it will take a while to get past the tragedy. We certainly understand that. The number of people unaccounted for from Colorado's devastating flooding has fallen dramatically as rescuers reach stranded victims and electricity and phone services restored to ravaged areas, allowing residents to contact family, friends, or authorities. But some of the stranded are refusing to leave their homes, prompting crews to show them photos of the surrounding destruction amid warnings that they could be cut off from essential services for several weeks. Probably that prairie mentality, I would think.
I
I'm
think
not
it takes
leaving my homestead.
I think, and I don't mean it against anybody, but I think there's a certain type of person that lives in a state like Colorado. Because it is really, there are areas out there that are basically unsettled.
Yeah, very, very rural.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel may be worth a cool $35 million, but that doesn't mean he's too good for Costco, Rob Spiewak.
Hey, my guy.
The Jimmy Kimmel Live host told guest Andy Samberg that he purchased his wedding band, which he has since lost.
Really?
From Costco.
I bet Andy Samberg likes a bargain.
When asked what his wife, writer Molly McNierney, thought about his choice, Kimmel replied, "She was like, really, I'll buy you a nice ring." And I was like, look at this ring. It's nice. It's fine. It's a ring. What do I care? Good thing because I lost it.
Wow.
Jimmy Kimmel. And clearly the funny man is a big fan of Costco. I would have liked to gotten married at Costco if that was an option, he added. The talk show host tied the knot with McNierney in his Ojai, California office in July. No, in Ojai, not in his office.
Right.
Samberg popped the question to his girlfriend, singer-songwriter Joanna Newsom, in February 2013. I just want to say, I know what Kimmel's all about. And there are a lot of people his age group and younger in broadcasting. It's really all about I'm the everyman.
Yeah.
Jimmy, don't fake it, dude. We know you got money. We know you
Sure.
spend money. It's nice that you're appearing to do this and to be the everyman.
Well, he
but-
comes from the Man Show.
I mean, I've known this in broadcasting for years. You just people just try so hard to be the everyman, and
Yeah.
it's funny that he did.
It started a long time ago. I think the first one to do it was Liberace.
You know what's
back in those days they didn't care.
No, you're right.
I wouldn't want a nice wedding ring.
Right.
I would want like something that if I lost, scratched, or messed up.
Mine couldn't be any more
Do
standard.
you know how I bought my wedding band?
Can I see that?
I went to a. There you go. Why don't you ask me what that's made out of?
What is that made of, Mike?
That is made out of steel.
Oh,
Is it
that's
really?
smart.
That is tungsten steel. That cost me under $200.
So
there
did
we
mine,
go.
I think. No, mine was a little more, but
That cost me under $200.
mine's gold, but it couldn't be any simpler.
But
See?
but the thing is, if
can't go wrong.
If I had $35 million, you know what I would make? I would actually have this made out of the teeth of virgins.
Oh God!
There you
Wow.
go.
No, you wouldn't.
You'd have to get the comfort fit under that because it would hurt.
Be difficult.
Yeah,
Jeff-
a simple ring is nice.
Yeah, it's simple. With the wedding band, it is simple.
Yeah.
For a guy, it doesn't necessarily matter.
Now, the
but,
other ring I wear is much more fancy.
but I
But
guess
you can't see that.
the fact is, though, they're so afraid of not of anybody knowing what they have.
Right.
And the fact is, he's got his money. He spends it somewhere.
Yeah.
But don't be like Leno and collect cars. That's obnoxious. A Japanese prison housing a range of convicted criminals has unveiled a cuddly, life-sized mascot that bosses hope will change the jail's image.
For a prison?
Officials at Asahikawa Prison in Japan's far north is too often thought of only as a dark place with imposing gray walls.
I swear I did my DUI time.
And not as a place of rehabilitation. They hope that Katakuri-chan, a nearly 2-meter, 6'6" humanoid with a huge square face and an enormous purple flower for hair, will make people understand the true nature of the institution. Prisoners have the image of being isolated places that have no contact with the rest of society and are surrounded by imposing gray walls, said a public relations official. We made the character to change the image into that of a facility open to society and supported by society.
But it's a prison. It's like trying
prison.
to reinvent the reputation of the Klan.
What about some tree decals?
That'd be nice.
We will be bringing Shannon into prison to put tree decals on cell walls. That should be wonderful.
A few throw pillows would really wake this place up. Put them over there by the combination toilet and sink.
I love me the Japanese. Some Wheel of Fortune fans are outraged because a contestant on Tuesday night's episode named Paul had a chance to win $1 million if he could solve the puzzle and only one letter was still hidden.
I have the tape of his actual solution when you get to it.
Okay, he did come up with the correct answer, and let's listen to it right now.
Now, just to set it said the entire puzzle was revealed except for the letter B.
Mm-hmm.
So the only letter that wasn't shown was the letter B.
I'm going to solve. All right. Cornocuro cabinet.
Not the answer.
What do you think?
You know what? First of all,
I'm with the guys. You don't give him the praise. He didn't know it.
I think that he should have had the opportunity to rephrase it. I would have given him one more try.
Not a chance. Let's do it again.
I would have given him one more try because it sounds to me like he might have stepped over it because all he was doing, corner and curio, were totally spelled out on the board. The one thing that was not solved was the word cabinet, and that's the word he said right.
I'm going to solve. All right. Cornocuro cabinet.
He said corno.
But it said corner up there.
Yeah, he said cornocuro.
Don't you think you should say at least let him rephrase it?
Oh, yeah, but he probably wouldn't have been able to do it.
Okay, but given a second chance. But here's what a lot of people are not saying. That this was not a puzzle for $1 million. What happens is he got that one little square with the $1 million thing on the wheel.
Yes.
So what had happened if he had won that prize and he had gone through the rest of the game without hitting bankrupt and he had gone to the final round and he had gotten the $100,000 on that spin.
So they're hyping the fact.
Yes, he had his chance of winning $1 million is not that much better than you
I
or I
watched a
winning
lot
$1
of
million.
Wheel, though. I think the guy blew it. If you don't know how to pronounce the word, you don't deserve
I
the puzzle.
don't know
Corner curio cabinet.
What is that?
A curio is a cabinet that you keep stuff in, and if you don't know it, you don't know it. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's a simple little description of furniture.
They should have given him a second chance because the thing that was unsolved was the only thing that was pronounced
Well,
right.
Pat Zajac seemed surprised and said the producers would listen to the replay to make sure they didn't cheat him, but they decided not to overturn their decision.
Okay.
And, as Rob said, they're hyping the fact that it was $1 million, where
It wasn't.
he had a few more hoops to go through before he get there.
1,000 hoops. Yeah.
Here's a little something for both you guys. No means no.
That's right,
Even
Tony.
when that no is in response to the question, can I please perform an exorcism to remove the demon that may or may not be possessing you? On Monday night, 54-year-old David Bennis of Tampa, Florida, wanted to perform an exorcism on his 80-year-old girlfriend.
Sure, he's just killing time.
Yep, that's right. His 80-year-old girlfriend. They've been together for 3 years, and we're not sure how they met. I wish we knew that story. She didn't want him to
Skate
perform.
park.
She didn't want him to perform the exorcism. It's not clear if she even believed she needed an exorcism, but he went ahead with it anyway. But things got too rough. Ooh.
Oh.
And she ended up calling 911.
Help!
When the cops got there, they found the bruises and scratches on her arms. David was arrested on several charges, including battery on a person over 65.
Oh, that's the worst kind of battery, Mike.
And false imprisonment.
Also bad.
He was drunk at the time. His
No.
girlfriend was identified as Beth Ann McBride.
No!
I'm just trying to have a
Hey,
little
but
fun.
you know what? At least we know what her problem was. She was possessed by the devil.
That's right. It's Rob's theory. We'll take a break and come back with the audio vault right here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Tell me your name. Hello, I love you. Let me jump in your game.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. It's brought to you by Omaricon 2013. We are going to be live at the State Theater Saturday night, November 9th at 8 p.m., and we want to see you there. That's in scenic, beautiful Falls Church, Virginia.
The best.
Tickets are on sale right now. You have surpassed the halfway mark. We give
Good job.
You are very well ahead of the last pace that we needed for you, but tickets will go fast. And the way this always works, Rob was explaining to me, is as we get closer and closer to sellout time.
The urgency.
That could happen 2 weeks. That could happen in 3 weeks. Doesn't matter. When it gets close there, they get scooped up real fast. So don't be left out.
And don't fall victim to scalpers.
Exactly. This show will be like no other show we've ever done. We'll be joined by Mickey Coachella, most recently of the 98 Rock Morning Show, an all-around funny guy. And as usual, there will be music. We will have a link up on Monday's show, and we'll tell you all about Monday, our band competition, where you can audition to be on stage with us at the State Theater, and we're looking forward to that.
You're open to all genres, too.
All genres this time. Even if you are a solo artist, just want to have some music there. Save the date, Saturday, November 9th at the State Theater in Falls Church, Virginia for Omaricon 2013. Superhero costumes are optional. Let's open up the audio vault for today. This is This is Thursday, September 19th, 2013. Take it away, Rob.
Wishful thinking.
No, not at all. No.
We said that we're going to talk a little bit about the Navy Yard shooting in the bonus show.
Yes.
But once again, The Daily Show continues to dazzle with its writing and insight. I want to play you, this is their take on the fact that he had been arrested before for minor shooting incidents. I love Jon Stewart's take on this.
Twice he was arrested in minor shooting incidents.
You know, if I wanted to pick out one thing that best exemplifies our country's peculiar relationship with guns, it might be that the phrase minor shooting incident exists. Yeah, it was none. It was just a couple of bullets. You know what I mean? I had to turn the TV off, and I didn't want to get up and get a remote, so I shot it.
Jerry Lewis.
So what exactly constitutes a minor shooting incident?
Here we go.
Shooting in an apartment, harassing a construction worker by shooting out his tires.
Shooting someone's tires out is not harassment. Harassment of a construction worker is, hey, that's a nice hard hat. Does it come in men's colors? That's harassment.
But it's just so valid.
It is valid.
So true.
Yeah, we'll cover this, too, this week.
Also, Mike, where are they now? Or shall I say, where are they now?
Hold on.
Oh, you have an element?
Here we go.
Okay. What this is a new feature in the Audio Vault, Oscar, and it's got a title. And the title is in the form of a question.
Where are they now?
And the topic today, John Gosselin.
Where is he now?
He's waiting tables.
Oh. Funny.
I like when the announcer laughs. Hey, it's funny, isn't it?
What a loser. Not that waiters are losers.
That's right. Thank you, Mr. Big Voice.
Thank you very much. He was very nice to put that in there.
But the thing is that John Gosselin, he wanted to combat the rumors that he's having trouble making ends meet.
Right.
But he is waiting tables.
Are you struggling to make ends meet?
No. I don't know why people said that. You know, it's like they said it. You know why they said it? They said it because I'm waiting tables, which is really disgusting to think that because you wait tables or because you have different things or you don't have an 8 to 5 job, that you're making ends meet.
What is it like going from reality show star to waiting tables?
To me, at first I was nervous because I was like, oh, how are people going to react? But then I'm thinking, well, it's fun and I get to talk to people and they technically already know me. So like, they're like, oh, are you the guy? I'm like, yeah, I'm the guy.
I have a question, Mike.
Incidentally, if you're thinking that waiters cannot make ends meet, I would direct you towards the Palm Restaurant in Washington, D.C.
When they all make a better living than the people they're serving.
Downtown.
Yeah.
But you can do that. And, I think a lot of people think of that in terms of a younger person's way of making a living, and that's where the stereotype
As the guy who was married to Mary Kate Gosselin, or is that her name?
Gosselin.
Kate Gosselin, and a father of a...
Mary
doesn't
Kate
even matter.
Mary Kate is Olsen. Silly.
That's right.
Creep.
No kidding.
God,
I have a question.
So nasty.
Mike, would you have hired him? That's what I want.
If you own a failing restaurant, contact us at foodnetwork.com.
All right.
I had pretty much one stereotypical criteria for my restaurant.
What's that?
If you were coming into my place and you had a neck tattoo, you weren't getting hired.
Yeah.
That's back when
No
neck
neck
tattoos. Now
We've relaxed that now that we have Matt Bloom.
Does Pony have a neck tattoo?
Do you, Pony?
No.
There he is.
Where are the bulk of your tattoos?
Nowhere.
Okay.
You don't have any tattoos?
None at all.
Even on your
junk?
It's a shift knob.
Yeah, what? No, it's a Winston logo.
SpongeBob.
He lives in a pineapple under the sea.
Right.
Won't have time. Safe home to Ken Norton.
Yes.
One of the only very few people to beat Muhammad Ali and break his jaw.
Right.
I don't know why he is so often overlooked in the annals of boxing history.
Yeah, he was I
pretty
remember,
good career.
Oh man, he was. And the thing about it, what they said about Ken Norton is that Ken Norton was too cut to
Right.
be a successful boxer, which was interesting. And it's the first time I ever saw it. So how can you say this guy's not in the kind of shape he should be in? He was in the wrong kind of shape.
Right.
That he had a bodybuilder's body that looked real good, but not necessarily durable
Right.
for a 15-round fight. So,
But
I
in
remember that.
'73, he was the second man to beat Ali, and it was a split decision.
And he was also in that movie Mandingo
That's right. And you know what? Often overlooked.
with James Mason.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, and you know what? Look at the clock. That's your magic audio ball.
I said it, you didn't.
Thank you for bringing up Mandingo.
I thought you'd like that.
Always.
Anyway, we got to get out of here. For tech support questions for the Mike O'Mara Show, contact our man Ponyboy at MikeO'MaraShow.com. All correspondence for our show can be sent to TMOS, P.O. Box 3, Manassas, Virginia, 20108. And don't forget, tickets are on sale now for Omaricon 2013. A delightful evening of tomfoolery and hijinks at the State Theater in Falls Church. We'll see you there. For Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana, this is Mike O'Mara saying see you next time, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Yeah, one more thing. Please remember to grab your extended free trial of Hulu Plus, a special offer just for our listeners. Go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click on the Hulu Plus banner and start watching all of your favorite shows right now. Or you can go to HuluPlus.com/TMOS. Again, that's HuluPlus.com/TMOS. Or click the Hulu Plus banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com. You may go now.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.